यशोदानन्दन व्रज जनरञ्जन यमुनातीरा वनचारी जय राधा माधवा कुंज विहारी जय हरे कृष्णा 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 हरे 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 राम 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 हरे 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 Krishna Krishna Hare 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 Rama 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 Hare 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 Krishna महारानी की, श्री राधा मदन मोहन की, श्री श्री गौर निताय की, श्री सीताराम लक्ष्मण हनुमान की, लक्ष्मी नरसिंहदेव भगवान की, श्रीला प्रभुपाद की, समावेत भक्त वृंद की, ग्रंथराज श्रीमद् भागवतम की। ओम अज्ञानतिमिरन्धस्य ज्ञानाञ्जनशलाकया चक्षुरुन्मीलितं येन तस्मै श्रीगुरवे नमः। श्रीचैतन्यमनोभीष्टं स्थापितं येन भूतले स्वयं रूपः कदा मह्यं ददाति स्वपदान्तिकम्। वन्देऽहं श्रीगुरोः श्रीयुतपदकमलं श्रीगुरून् वैष्णवांश्च श्रीरूपं साग्रजातं सहगण रघुनाथान्वितं तं सजीवं साद्वैतं सावधूतं परिजनासहितं कृष्णचैतन्यदेवं श्रीराधा कृष्णपादान् सहगण ललिता श्रीविशाखान्वितांश्च नमो ॐ विष्णुपादाय कृष्णपृष्ठाय भूतले श्रीमते भक्तिवेदान्तस्वामिनिति नामिने नमस्ते सारस्वते देवे गौरवाणी प्रचारिणे निर्विशेषशून्यवादी पाश्चात्यदेशतारिणे नमो महावदन्याय कृष्णप्रेमप्रदायते कृष्णाय कृष्णचैतन्यनाम्ने गौरत्विषे नमः। हे कृष्ण करुणा सिंधो दीनबंधो जगत्पते गोपेश गोपिका कांत राधा कांत नमोस्तुते तप्त कांचन गौरांगी राधे वृंदावनेश्वरी वृषभानुस्तुते देवी प्रणमामि हरिप्रिये वाञ्छाकल्पतरुभ्यश्च कृपा सिन्धुभ्य एव च पतितानां पावनेभ्यो वैष्णवेभ्यो नमो नमः। जय श्री कृष्ण चैतन्य प्रभु नित्यानंद श्री अद्वैत गदाधर श्रीवासादि गौर भक्त वृंद हरे कृष्णा कृष्ण कृष्णा हरे 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 राम 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 हरे हरे ओम नमो भगवते वासुदेवाय ओम नमो भगवते वासुदेवाय ओम नमो भगवते वासुदेवाय नारायणं नमस्कृत्य नरं चैव नरोत्तमं देवीं सरस्वतीं व्यासं ततो जयमुदीरये नष्टप्रायेष्व भद्रेषु नित्यं भागवत सेवया भगवत्युत्तमश्लोके भक्तिर्भवति नैष्ठिकी कृष्णाय वासुदेवाय देवकी नन्दनाय च नन्दगोपकुमाराय गोविन्दाय नमो नमः Welcome all of you for this slate session, second session in the development of Vaishnava qualities. Last time we devoted our time for service attitude, right? We completed that. Today we will do another very important topic, which is respect. We are living in a world where, when you, especially in the educated circle of people, the whole world is now submerged in illusion. People are chasing after the mirage of just money making, proud of their bank balance, proud of their education, proud of their um, achievements in life. On one hand, they are proud in illusion. On the other hand, they are still very busily chasing after the mirage further and further. And at the same time, they hardly realize the situation in which, the predicament in which they are in, from a spiritual point of view. How they are, digging a grave for themselves, creating a ghastly future for themselves. People are not aware. They are engaging in sinful activities, but they are proud of degrees and money and material opportunities in life. To awaken such people is not a very easy thing. And one requires great humility to approach such living entities and be able to attract them and convince them as Krishna consciousness is the ultimate goal of life. You are not the body, you are the spirit soul, you are roaming in illusion in this world. They don't even know they are suffering. First, you have to make them understand how they are suffering. Actually, one of the rehabilitation hospitals in Pune, it's a very big one. They have like 250, 300 patients. So the top doctor told that the greatest problem for the psychiatrist doctors is to convince the patient that they are crazy. Because they just don't understand and they don't agree also. Why? Because it makes them feel bad. Because what will others think? That I'm going to psychiatric hospital, I'm taking a medicine. So nobody will like. And the conditioned soul's situation is exactly similar. Pishache payalayata matichanna hai, Prabhupada says. When a pishach or a bhoot, when a ghost enters into somebody's body, that fellow speaks like a fool. He has no control of himself, afflicted by the vices of lust, anger, and greed. All the bad activities of the modern times. Lust is the cause of the gang rapes. Greed is the cause of the money scandals. Anger is the cause of all the criminal activities, murders. Every problem in the modern day can be traced to these three items: lust, anger, and greed. Whether it is on a smaller level or on a larger level, whether it is in uh, life of a student or a working man or a top-notch professionals, anybody. So the whole world is on fire in that sense. And for a preacher, Prabhupada uses the word thankless task. Why it's a thankless task? Because when you when you go to preach to such people who are you know uh, in their imaginative success, they are proud. Hmm. Although they are suffering, they don't know they are suffering. And you have to go, and when you try to tell them you are suffering, please take this medicine of Krishna consciousness. Uh, very clearly you can see that they don't want you. They want to get rid of you. They want to run away from you. Exactly like a naughty child. Mother tries to give medicine. Even my mother used to give a lollipop in the mouth. And then by the time you're enjoying lollipop, she would give the medicine. By the time you cry, you shout, then again lollipop like that. So preachers across the globe are also trying different things. In America, many of the programs they do, they don't even put the topic of the program. They only put a big plate of prasadam. What items you are going to get today when you come to the class? You know, weekly Hare Krishna music. And then put a big plate of prasad, please come. That's how they attract. And then people come for prasad. And then while eating prasad, many of them want to socialize. Boys, girls are sitting all mixed together and they're just wanting to socialize with one another. What can you speak Krishna consciousness to them? Many times. So many preachers even fear to speak Krishna consciousness because next time whether they'll come or not, they don't know. In some places it's like that. So uh, what a very low level of uh, motivators that are needed for attracting the conditioned souls, you can see. So therefore, a preacher requires a great amount of humility uh, to be able to feed this medicine of Krishna consciousness into the minds and hearts of the conditioned souls. It's not a very easy thing. Mm. So Prabhupada gave the example that if you have to give medicine to your horse, you need 6 people are required, he said. 4 people have to catch 4 legs of the horse, and one fellow has to open the mouth, and the sixth person has to put the medicine in the mouth of the horse. And Prabhupada said the conditioned souls are like this horse. And a Krishna conscious preacher, you need 6 people to make one devotee. Some Mataji has to cook prasad, somebody has to make the flyer and go and distribute. Now somebody has to keep following up, please, are you going to come, are you going to come, are you going to come, correct? No? And then somebody has to escort him to the program also. Nowadays, VIP treatment you have to bring him to the program. And somebody has to sit with him in the program and eat with him and pamper him and take care of his academics, take care of his, his ego problems and everything. And one preacher can then sit and preach, give the lecture after that. Not a very easy thing. So, if a preacher is proud that I am a great preacher, I am a great deliverer of the fallen, conditioned souls, I am very pure, and and if one considers, on one hand, if I consider I am a proud preacher. On the other hand, I consider the conditioned souls to be good for nothing, useless, asar, all like pigs and dogs and cats and everything. Then the distance between them and me will be increased, and it is very difficult for us to preach to them. So one thing which Prabhupada, if you see, Prabhupada also said pigs, dogs, cats, horses, and camels and asses and everything he said. But he lived with them. He lived in the midst of them. If you see, he lived in the Bavari, cooked prasad for them, fed them, tried to understand their psychology, and lived in a very dangerous situation in the midst of them and preached to them. Ultimately, he emerged successful. He made them into devotees. So, how he could make them into devotees? He gave them dignity. He gave them the respect that is due for a part and parcel of Krishna. Prabhupada did not see their anarthas to be like a big mountain, which is difficult to clear. Rather, he focused on the spark, spiritual spark, which has a tremendous potential to become a great Krishna devotee. Uh, Out of the two, there is a spiritual spark which has the propensity to love Krishna, correct? No? And that living entity is covered by a big mountain of anartha. So Prabhupada was so confident. One spark of fire can burn down a mountain of hay. Huh? Isn't it? If you just put a spark of fire, just burns down it. So he was very confident. If I can awaken Krishna consciousness in this living entity, I can burn down all the anarthas. He was very confident. That confidence led him to go to preach to them. Mhm. Also, uh, our right attitude as a preacher means we have to know that there are many statements made by acharyas in our line where there is a kind of prophecy made. Prithivit achaya dinagaradigram sarvatra prachara hoibamora nam. Who made this? Chaitanya Mahaprabhu. Huh? And similarly, there is another prediction by Nityananda Prabhu. He said, and one of the predictions he says that in Alalnath, he made one prediction. Oh, this kirtan is so beautiful. Similar kirtan will happen in every nook and corner of the world, in every town and village. He also said that, you know. And also, Chaitanya Mahaprabhu made prediction about Senapati Bhakta will come. There is one verse also it says, he'll bring the weapon of the holy name. Huh? Yadi Papa Jiv Dure Jeshe Jai, he says. If any Papa Jivas leave uh, Bharat and they go to faraway places, this Senapati Bhakta will go chase after them and bring them to Krishna, like that he says. So there is prediction about Mahaprabhupada appearance. Bhaktivinoda Thakur in 1896 wrote one book on teachings and precepts of Lord Chaitanya. There he predicts Prabhupada appearance also. So you will find that there is already a very clear indication that Krishna consciousness is going to take a very big shape in future. So that can be compared to a mercy current of a river. Imagine a river is coming with a great current. If you have seen Ganga in Rishikesh or Haridwar, it's very fast, fastly flowing Ganga. So Acharya's predictions, their aspirations, uh, their ambitions, like Bhaktivinoda Thakur says, when will the time come when Europeans and Americans and Russians and French and Germans, they will all come and chant Jai Satchidanand Gaur Hari. So the ambition of Acharya, correct, no? So the ambitions and aspirations and predictions and writings of the Acharya, that's like a fastly flowing river current. What we are doing as preachers, we just have to jump into that river. Then you also flow with it. So imagine, for example, I want to jump into that river and be carried to the ocean of bliss of the spiritual world. So instead of me jumping alone, I can catch 20 more boys and jump along with them into the river. Then everybody is being carried. So the being carried, credit goes to whom? Acharyas. Acharyas, Chaitanya Mahaprabhu, Gaur Nitai, Srila Prabhupada. So if your picture is what I am saying, I have no reason to be proud. I'm not a very big doer. My only credit is I jumped into that river of mercy. And I am partaking of the mercy also. And I am also sharing that mercy with others who are ready to jump along with me. Correct, no? So sometimes preacher, like one boy went to a college and then he preached, and within a year he brought 20 boys into the center, chanting from one round to 16 rounds. And this boy wrote a mail to me saying that, Prabhu, I don't know how this magic of Krishna consciousness is working through me. He said, within 1 year I made a center and I got a cook and I have 20 boys who have joined the center, and, I'm giving them lectures and they're all dependent on me like my children. So, Prabhu, this resembles very similar to what Prabhupada did in 1965. He went to America. He went to the Bawari and then he made devotees. He chanted Hare Krishna. I also chanted Hare Krishna. I made devotees. Then I understood his subtle pride. Then I wrote back to him saying that what nonsense are you talking? I said, you see, Prabhupada going in 1965 is not similar to your going to a college year. You know? Huh? See, who taught you to put tilak? Prabhupada only taught us where to put tilak like this. Who gave you his books? Prabhupada gave the books. Who taught worship of Radha and Krishna? You know? And who taught you how to wear your kopian and the dhoti also? You know? And who taught how to dance Swami step? Think about it. Every bit of Krishna consciousness that you have learned from Prabhupada. And his books, his letters, and his conversations, his ISKCON movement that he established, and his devotees all over the world. Taking support of all these things, we are a tiny tot, drawing energy and support from all these things, and we just copy and repeat the same thing, what we are doing. And then this fellow thinks, I am a self-sufficient Acharya, a mini Prabhupada. He's thinking like that. I said, this is utter nonsense. This is just imagination. So, therefore, this is one of the ways by which we can curb our false pride that I am a very great preacher, because we know that everything is given like as if on a platter, just like Radha Gopinath Prabhu's famous example. He said one man wanted to eat this jackfruit. So another man climbed up the tree and he cut the big jackfruit, which is looking like sharp. You have seen that? Cutting jackfruit is a very difficult thing, very hard fruit it is. And you also have to apply oil to your hands. He cut the fruit and he opened it and he took out all the jackfruits, which is all deeply buried. You have to take it out. And then when you open the jackfruit, inside there is a cover also and a seed. If you do like this, seed will come out, but the cover will remain inside. That will come in the throat. So you have to make sure that cover is also removed. There's cover at the top, cover outside, cover inside. And everything with oily hands, he did that, and then he cut it into pieces, put it on a plate. He put some honey, he put some dry fruits, everything. And then he came and gave him on a plate. So the man said, why are you getting me this? I want the original jackfruit. He was selling. Similar, some people ask, is that original Veda? People ask like that. If you want the original Veda, the four Vedas and the Upanishads and the Vedanta Sutra and the Nyaya, everything you study. And for you to come to conclusion will be very difficult on your own. Many times you may end up eating the waste portion of the jackfruit or the thani portion of the jackfruit, and you will get, many things will get stuck in your hands also. So Goswami is Nana Shastra and Vicharaneka Nipunam Saddharma Samstavakau Lokanam Hitakarina Utribhuvane. Like that he says. So for our Loka Hit, they have done all the homework for us. Yaire Drishi Bhagavato Rachananuvada Ekantato Nigame Bhipatipaditana Tushyan Padabrakaruna Sakritena Nityam Ko Nama Tat Karoti Vinoda Patram. So in this verse, Prithu Maharaj is saying to four Kumaras that Acharyas not only have made it very easy for us to understand the scriptures by putting it down in simple terms. It's like a step-down transformer. Otherwise, like there's very high voltage. Step-down transformer makes it easy for you to access. Plus, they also have not only given Shastra, they have practiced it themselves. And they have set an example. And they have spoken this knowledge with conviction. With knowledge, realization, conviction. They have spoken, they have written literatures, they have given a method, process, like 16 rounds chanting, 4 legs. Everything crystal clear, made it very simple. Many organizations don't give you very clear indication on what you should do. They speak philosophy in a very dry manner. But Prabhupada is not like that. Prabhupada gives concrete, 16 rounds chanting, Four regs you should follow. 64 principles, Rupa Goswami's principle. And study this NOI, how you should live life as a devotee. So, therefore, he says, what can we give you? It's like taking Ganga Jal and giving it back to Ganga. Tera tujhko arpan kya lage mera, you say. That is the mood of a preacher. The preacher goes, the preacher thinks, what did I do in my life? I am just accepting the mercy, that's all. My only qualification is that Prabhupada said, if I have any credit in this moment, my only credit is I am repeating the words of my Guru Maharaj and Krishna. That's my only credit. Mhm. Don't give me credit, give to Krishna, he said. Whenever somebody gives me credit, I used to write to them back saying that if there is anything good that you found in my talk, that is only because of my faithfully following my Guru's instructions. And if you find anything deficient in me, it is due to my audacity and whimsical attitude and not following Guru's instructions. Correct, huh? That's all we have. That is the correct mood in which we should Mhm. accept the mercy of the Acharyas. And also our feeling, our attitude about ourselves. Who you think what you are makes your attitude. Who you think what you are. For example, say in a hospital, you have seen surgeons are very rare. Sometimes one surgeon has done 5,000 operations, and they're very, very qualified people. Last 40 years is doing like that. So these surgeons, if you see, they have a dozen people with them doing multiple things. For example, there's a clerk who goes and notes down who wants surgery to be done. Then he gives a record. Then there are people preparing hot water, cotton. There are people handling the devices. There are people preparing the operation table. There are men who are setting up the lights and everything, all those things. So at last, when everything is done, the surgeon comes towards the end. You will see. He just comes like that. He just does some small, fine work, and then he goes up. Correct, now. Similarly, you will see all of us. Somebody, goes and distributes pamphlets. Somebody distributes books, and somebody cooks prasad. Somebody hosts a program, and somebody conducts the classes. Somebody takes attendance. Somebody sends something weekly to them, some posters or something like that. Somebody organizes trips, outdoor trips and things like that, or trip to the temple or whatever. Many things we do. And then, although one big preacher may be preaching, but there are also other people who have to do some Prabhupada's book reading with them and solving their real personal life problems. If it is a student, then academic problems. If it is a family man, they have many problems within their family to practice Krishna consciousness. Mother, father, wife, children, everything. So multiple people are involved. At the end, you will find when the candidate comes to the point of 16 rounds and following 4 regs and IDC is over, then a person comes and does the excuse initiation. Correct, no? Like in those days, Prabhupada used to give. Correct, no? So last point. So somebody may say, oh, what is so great about it? He just gives initiation, goes away. We are the people really doing the work. Some people argue like that. They don't know that person giving initiation is actually taking the burden of all the karmic reactions of the candidate whom one is accepting. That's why spiritual masters should not accept disciples without making sure that they are properly practicing. One time, my spiritual master was sitting in the front seat. Me and Gaurang Prabhu were sitting in the rear seat. Gaurang Prabhu said, Maharaj, this time I am sending about 30, 40 people, he was telling. Maharaj said, do you know every one of them? He asked. So he said, Maharaj, I know some 20, 25 people I know. But there are some who come for the program, other people know. Said. And then he also told Maharaj that, Maharaj, anyway, you are giving initiation, you will get to know them. They'll come to you. Maharaj said, see, I am giving initiation because I trust you. I don't know who they are. But I trust that you have trained them. nicely. And you are a man of standard character. And I have full trust in you. And we all do the same in our life also. Hare Krishna, for example, I trust you. And you suggest me to your doctor. And I assume that he is a good doctor. Why? Because you have suggested me. And I trust you. Correct? It works like that. Maharaj said, I come once in a blue moon, but you are regularly training them. You should be fully confident. And then Gauranga Prabhu said, Maharaj, we may not be fully confident. They have some shortcomings and everything. But we think that if they take initiation from you, by your power, you will deliver them. Maharaj said, no. Maharaj said that you should remember that because you are recommending them, you will also get a part of the karma, he said. That was a big shock. Then Gauranga said, I'll reduce the number of people, he said. I'll reduce the number of candidates now. you know. So now, who takes the karmic reaction is a big argument many devotees are making in our movement. Does Prabhupada take it, or gurus take it, or the Shiksha gurus take it? But definitely, anybody who is training and taking the onus of forwarding the name for the candidate, it comes to us also. So the idea is the guru and the gurus who are accepting the disciples. Tomorrow, if the guru does bad, if the disciples does bad, the bad name goes to guru also, correct? No? So disciple does something good, the good name goes to guru also. You will see that. So we should see ourselves as one of those dozen or two dozen people involved in the process of training a candidate. Like you all have seen basketball, isn't it? Like, I throw a ball to you and then you throw. One more person, one more person, one more person. Finally, there's one tall fellow who is standing next to the basket. He puts it. Prabhupada is like that. Correct, no? And everybody else is like, we are all passing the ball. Like I do. Like I come here once in a while, I come. There's Madhav Gopinath who is hands-on man here. And then below him, there are many others who are becoming preachers also now. Correct, now here. There are also many other preachers here. They are bringing also. So putting up this community, multiple people are involved in that. So you will see that then above me there are Vartamana Acharya Vrinda. Above them there is Prabhupada. And the whole Guru Parampara. So the delivering of the candidate should be, the glory is given to everybody in the line. Not only to us. So one time, university topper came to Utkarsh camp in Mayapur. So people brought him to me. So very, very big marks he had got. I heard that in his 10th and 12th, he was a state topper. And when he joined IIT, he was a university topper. So when he came, so I asked him. So as soon as he came, 5-6 people also came. So one devotee came and said, Prabhu, it is my humble self who gave the one-time program for him. And then after that one time, immediately he became a devotee. Since then other people also followed him up. But I was having the good fortune to be the first one to tap him and bring him from the big college with 1,000 boys. I was the one who brought him. Another devotee said, Prabhu, I am the humble self who gave Discover Yourself course for him. For him. When he sat in my class, he became convinced. That's it. He said, this is the truth. He could discover his own soul. He said. Then another person said, Prabhu, I was the one who gave Sankalp camp. After the camp ended, 2 hours he stayed and asked me so many questions, which clearly goes to show that, where he is taking inspiration from. He's different people are saying. 6 people said, somebody said, I am his mentor. I have given him cookies for chanting circles. Every week I used to carry cookies for him. In this way, everybody was saying. At last I asked the boy, oh, please tell me, how did you become so serious that you come to 16 rounds chanting along with being a university topper? So he said, Prabhu, it's all Prabhupada's books, Prabhu. I was very deeply convinced by Prabhupada's lectures and books that this is the philosophy. He said, everybody's head dropped down. Like that. So then I told these fellows, see, if you didn't take the credit, probably he would have given you the credit. Huh? But you were greedy for the credit, therefore you didn't get the credit. Correct, no? So actually, if they said, Prabhu, see Prabhupada's mercy, he became a devotee, then he will say, Prabhu, Prabhupada's mercy is there, but you are the one who brought that Prabhupada's mercy to me, so I am grateful to you. Like that he would say. Correct, no? So, therefore, we should know that like in a operation theater, multiple people are involved. We are also one of them. The basketball game, multiple people are involved. Yeah. So, like you all have seen the Olympic torch, one person carries and then he hands over to another, then he hands over. Ultimately, it is reached to the place where it should go, correct? No? We all should do our part and pull out. Huh? And actually, this consciousness of a preacher is very, very good. I'll tell you why. Because, we consider ourselves to be one of the members of this system. Huh? And we are also a part of the system, one of the members of the system. And we contribute our lot, and you contribute your lot, she contributes her lot, everybody does. And we all are there. And then Prabhupada is at the top, who is our founder Acharya of the society. And we want to please him, we want to please our Guru, we want to please Vaishnavas, we want to please Krishna. So Lord will be very pleased with this right attitude. So you can see that, yeah. Yeah, I can read it now. Yeah.
Register.
One of you who has the mic with you? Yeah.
Passion without compassion leads to successful operation, but passion dead.
Sound is coming?
Is unknown. A real devotee thinks that he is not devotee. What he feels fortunate to have come in touch with the devotees. Therefore, a true Vaishnava is compassionate. He austerities to reach out to person who have lost track of Krishna in their lives. Srila Prabhupada himself carried Back to Godhead magazine to tea shops and begged conditioned souls to buy and benefit. Devotees are meant to remind others of their duties and surrender to Krishna. Remember how I had forgotten Krishna in my life, how mercifully I have been brought to the right path of Krishna consciousness by my facilitator and seniors. People are suffering because they are not glorifying Krishna. Now I have to reach out the same Krishna consciousness to other suffering souls who are uninterested in spiritual subject due to illusion. Such conditioned soul in illusion imagine that material pleasure is all in all, and they are often proud of their material accomplishments. They have to approach it respectfully without criticizing their fallen position. At the same time, the apparently bitter wisdom medicine of Krishna consciousness has to be administered successfully. Srila Prabhupada compared this to 5 men required for feeding medicine to a horse. Now, is my preaching compassionate and respectable enough for the suffering souls to become attracted to Krishna consciousness?
Yeah, this is the point. Like, when we see that the modern day people are in illusion and they are suffering because they have forgotten Krishna, they turned away from Krishna. Janasya Krishnat, Vimukasya Devat, Adharmashilasya, Sudukhitasya, he says. They are Sudukhitasya because, you know, Krishnat Vimukasya, they have turned their face away. They are suffering. So we know it. And because of it, they are uninterested also. Actually, sometimes preachers expect that people should come and with folded palms bow down to you and then beg you for knowledge, beg you for mala, and then they will follow, they will carry your bag for you, and then they will have deep respect for you. Many people have expectation that a preacher should be welcomed, which was the case some years ago. Like I remember when we were studying in IIT way back in 91, very quickly we could recognize our Shiksha Guru, Devamrit Prabhu in those days. We felt pity for him that he is carrying big bag of mala and Prabhupada books and tiffin box he would carry. in the rear side of the car, he would have kept, and he would carry all the three heavy things. So we started helping him to carry and everything, and we would come for the program. So, but in the early stage, nobody recognized the hard work that he's doing. He would come 1.5 to 2 hours traveling by car, bringing these things, and then he would conduct the class, give us all a book to read, give us prasad, make us chant Hare Krishna and everything. And gradually, when our eyes opened, we became grateful to him. And he was so kind that sometimes when he would come into the hostel gate, some boys would be playing volleyball. They'd be playing. So when they would see him, they would come to him, bow down to him, do like this, again continue playing. And Prabhu was so kind, he would just give them an embrace and pat them and say, "So, are you joining me for the class?" And the boy would say, "No, no, I'll join at the end for prasad." you know, and he would allow them to play. Okay, you continue playing. He would go. And Prabhu would say also at the end of the class, "See that boy wanted to come for prasad, go and call him." And that fellow will be still playing. We'd go and call. So it requires a lot of compassion. Huh? Imagine if you tell a boy, "Hey, you are jumping like a kangaroo," you will get a kangaroo's body in the next life. Playing, come and sit in the class and become a devotee first, isn't it? Isn't it? So it requires a lot of patience to preach to new people. Actually, there was, there is one preacher. Uh, I don't want to mention his name. He's a little very forceful preacher. He's a wonderful devotee. You know, he would be, when he would give class, of course, he would be giving class to devotees. And he would be giving Sunday feast class. And people are attending 10 years his Sunday feast. He would be giving. But when he would be giving class, he would tell them, "What are we people? We are simply pigs. We are dogs. Uh, we are like, lazy buffaloes," and things like. And people were looking at the clock. When will the class end? So one devotee told me, "Prabhuji, in his class he will tell all the animals in the world." So actually, that fellow would be very angry that people are not becoming devotees. That is his anger. It's a Vaishnava anger only, but it comes out in a dangerous way. you know. So we need a lot of patience to make them proper devotees, so, especially newcomers. It requires maturity, a lot of maturity on the part of a preacher that, okay, now these conditions, like he says here, see, they are uninterested in spiritual subject due to illusion. And they are suffering also, poor fellows. They are actually hurting themselves, harming themselves, suffering. And should we act passionately or compassionately? Here he says, so my spiritual master gave a lecture on the topic of blending passion with compassion. In Calcutta, he gave that. You have the passion to make devotees, preach and bring new people, but have compassion also. Go further. Yeah.
Proud preacher drives people away. Preaching in the real sense to bring people to Krishna by clearing unwanted misconception and attachments and to develop taste for Krishna Katha. Preaching should not make us think, I am a great reformer. The only person who have to reform is we ourselves. In fact, that is the prime purpose of our acharyas engaging us in preaching. Be aware of descending mercy of Guru and Acharyas that has empowered you to preach. Lord Chaitanya's and Acharya's mercy is like a fastly flowing river current of devotional service into which we can jump along with those whom we preach to. That current will take us to the ocean of love of God. Thus, credit should be given to the desired river current of Acharyas and not to ourselves.
Yeah. So, actually, what do we want to do by preaching? To clear the misconceptions and attachments that people are suffering from. Hmm. Now, what are the misconceptions they have? Many people are thinking, educated people, that man has evolved from apes. Huh? So much so that they will even take the Dashavatara and make it into a Darwinian theory. Huh? Many people in the schools they put up, even Hindu schools. This goes to show how foolishly religious people can try to somehow or other align with the so-called bogus theories of science, just to be in the good books of science. Correct, no? So, and people have notion that Puranas are mythological. Huh? Many Hindu boys, girls come for the program and they say, Swamiji, in the Hindu mythology, they speak like that. Huh? When we immediately want to correct them and say, hey, wait a minute, it's not mythology. Huh? It's a Hindu history. Itihas means history. Huh? It's not a mythology. They have lot of misconceptions like that. Huh? Like somebody asked, why they had child marriage. Huh? They think Hinduism has a lot of flaws. Even Hindus think like that. They don't know. Prabhupada says a girl would be 9 and boy would be 12 when they marry. Hmm? But why they married so early? A girl, if she gives her mind to a man, she will never give it to anybody else after that. Hmm? She knows I have a husband now. The husband also knows I'm married now, I have to be responsible. He goes home, then he takes a job, and then they both live separately. When the right age comes, they are brought together. Huh? It's a very scientific system, it is. Otherwise, now, boys don't get married even till 32 also nowadays. 31, 32 also, they are still thinking when to marry. Huh? Like one boy is 40, 44 now. So he was asking, is there a marriage bureau in your temple? Huh? I asked, you are 44 now. He said, yeah, I was little busy, saving some money before marriage. He said, and what age you're planning to marry after retirement? Isn't it? Now people are now, it's going on, the age is increasing. You've seen that? They say 26, then 27, then 30, then 32, then 35, then now it's 44 now. Huh? So, uh, how the Vedic system is foolproof, how it is, like nowadays, because of people not properly getting married on time, they become characterless. Huh? Well before marriage, many times they have changed 3, 4 partners already in the name of fiancé. Hmm? And finally, when they marry a fifth one after that. Huh? Now we have to clearly show to people, see the Vedic principles and see the modern day lifestyle. So I had something like 20 themes, Vedic versus modern. I'll show you the titles. See this? Compare the Vedic, modern, and ISKCON outlook to the following themes. Somebody can read the headings.
Protection of women, children, cows, brahmanas, old people. System of administration and taxation, dress code and lifestyle, roles and goals, attitude towards other members of society, law and order, food habits, chastity and celibacy, education and its goal, sense control and regulation in life, harmony with nature, harmony with God, festivals and get together meets, wars, scientific and technological advancement, economic development, standard of living, recreation and sports, marriage, medicine.
Yeah. I have spoken on this in comparison. There is one lecture in which I spoke to the students on this. So by speaking to students on these type of topics, then you can actually clear their misconceptions. Correct, no? Oh, like this. Many students appreciate it. Oh, that's great. We never thought Vedas are very deep. Their respectability for Vedas will increase by that. Then they'll become more open to taking to chanting, eating only prasad, coming and living with devotees. Especially for new people, we could do this kind of things, you know. So, and another problem they have is the attachments. What are the mental attachments they suffer from? Like, for example, Dhritarashtra was attached to Duryodhana. In the same manner, sometimes the boys are attached to cricket, The boys are attached to many bad habits like drinking, smoking, and all that. Or they are attached to man-woman relationship before marriage. Huh? So new people, when it in London temple when I was there, they're taking the mic and telling all the women come this side, all the men go that side because everybody is together. Correct, no? So repeatedly they had to announce to separate the two. Huh? So, but they were patiently doing it because you can't scold people, huh? Because they have become very. Some people even come in dresses which are very uncultured type of dresses, semi-clad, not properly dressed in the temple. Or some people come in like some Hollywood, Bollywood actor or actress. They come like that. We don't know whether they come to take darshan or give darshan. Correct, no? But you have to be patient in handling these people. If you are not patient and tolerant and respectful, then they may be big people also. They may be criticizing ISKCON. Yeah. Therefore, you have to clear their attachments and misconceptions. Mm. Yeah. Like, one lady uh, came to my spiritual master and said, Maharaj, it's my birthday today. I've come to seek your blessings. And then she asked Maharaj, what do you think my age is? She is already like 47 or something, 47 or 48. Like Gopi in the spiritual was just 16 years old. She was very happy. Actually, she's 48. But people feel very happy when you say you are young. Correct, no? Yeah. So then Maharaj gave some prasad and said, I'll pray that, Krishna attracts you. Huh? And she became initially devotee later on. She was totally new. So many people, they decorate themselves gorgeously, with lipstick and nail polish and dress and everything. They come. And if you are going to tell them, devotees have to be simple. Actually, making them simple is not as important as making them chant the holy name. Right now, what is more important? Making them give up meat is not as important as making them chant the holy name. Once the medicine goes in, they will get cured. All attachments will be gone. All the misconceptions will be gone. You don't have to even tell them. All the unwanted things will go away. Huh? Yeah. Yeah, let us go to the next one. Read it. I am not.
I am not the only cause, but one of the contributors in preaching mission.
Where the mic?
Here.
You're reading the mic only?
Yes.
Yeah. It's coming, Sharbu.
Also,
Yes.
Also, preaching is not a one-man show. Many are involved in it. In a compassion mission like hospital, not all people like a semi-devotee, neophyte devotee, senior devotee, advanced devotee like nurse, clerk, doctor, etc. have same amount of compassion. A clerk's role in the operation is to just keep record. A doctor knows the intricacy of the operation. Similarly, we go by number and success in preaching without much compassion for the preached. Thus, we should not be proud of our preaching. Rather, understand that there are many devotees involved in offering small portions of Krishna consciousness dose to the preached. We are not the only cause. We are one of the small contributors among many in preaching. Guru, Srila Prabhupada, and Krishna do the real job. Thus, we are representatives of a compassion mission, although we ourselves do not have great compassion for the suffering souls.
Yeah. Then what follows that is, till now, our point of focus has been on one theme, which is how a preacher should be compassionate in dealing with the new people. So, some examples of how to exhibit that compassion we are going to learn now. Read the first title, Respect. No. If you don't read in the mic, it won't come in recording. Yeah.
Respect, encourage, and appreciate non-devotees, newcomers. That will give chance for them to become devotees. For example, Prabhupada wrote to Brahmananda and Gargamuni, because they are nice, you are practicing devotional service. Good fruits come from good tree.
Yeah. So Prabhupada taught the Americans to respect their mother, father. So when Brahman Prabhu went to his home, he battered the door. His mother opened the door and didn't find anybody. Why? Because Brahman Prabhu was flat on the ground. He fallen flat on the ground. Ashtanga pranam he was doing. Mother saw, who is that? Then she saw somebody is down. She said to her son, and she was touched. Oh, my dear son, where did you learn this? To bow down and touch the feet of mother. Who taught you? He said, my spiritual master taught me. Srila Prabhupada. My mother said, oh, I want to come and see him. So then she came to temple also to meet Prabhupada. And Prabhupada told her that, mangoes come from mango tree. Because your mother and father are so good, therefore your two sons have become Krishna's devotees. So they felt very happy. So Prabhupada knew how to encourage new people. And that way many parents also started chanting and becoming devotees by that encouragement. Next.
Allow people to have their own space, act properly, be gentle to others. That quality attract others. People don't become devotee because of powerful philosophy alone, but by how we administer the philosophy to them.
Example. Yeah.
Example, Lord Chaitanya transformed Sarvabhaum Bhattacharya, who was earlier Mayavadi, by his Prema Purna Vyavahar and Yukti Purna Prachar, loving dealings and intelligent preaching.
Yeah. Correct. No? This is the combination Mahaprabhu adopted. First you show Prem Purna Vyavahar, by which you touch the heart of the candidate. And then after you enter the heart of the candidate, then you can do Yukti Purna Prachar, intelligent preaching. Like for example, when Mahaprabhu fainted unconscious in front of Jagannath, Pandavas thought some crazy fellow, so they brought a stick to beat him and to take him out of the temple hall. And Bhattacharya was a very highly respectable personality. He was a Rajapurohit. So he came and told them, hey, move aside. And he arranged for Lord Chaitanya's body to be taken to his house. And he was still unconscious. He saw with a swab of cotton that is very softly breathing and is exhibiting some ecstasy. So later on, when Nityan Prabhu and others came, Mukunda Datta, Nityan Prabhu, they all came. And then they chanted Harinam, they chanted, Mahaprabhu got up after that. Then what followed is the most important thing. Bhattacharya told Mahaprabhu that, you fainted unconscious because you entered the sanctum sanctorum of the temple hall. Then Mahaprabhu asked him, see, you are very elderly, like my father. You guide me how I should take darshan. And he told Mahaprabhu that you should stand way back next to Garuda Stamba. From there you should take darshan. From that day he followed it, Chaitanya Mahaprabhu. Later on, he wanted to teach Vedanta. And all Vaishnavas are angry. That who is he to teach Vedanta to Mahaprabhu? So Mahaprabhu said, why you people are angry on him? He is like my father. He has some affection for me. And I am a young sannyasi. You want to see me protected. Let him speak to me, like that Mahaprabhu said. And one day Bhattacharya told Gopinath Acharya, I don't know why this young sannyasi is charming my heart. Simply looking at him, thinking of him, I am feeling some affection for him. But how did that affection come? Because of his Prem Purna Vyavahar. Even all of us also, in our dealings, if you had a loving exchange with somebody, people fondly remember that for a very long time. Similarly, if you had an angry exchange with somebody, that also people remember for a long time. But the problem is what? Like sometimes Brahmachari goes to home. He has a tussle with mother and father. And he stays only half a day, one day. And then he comes. And the parents lifelong keep telling that this is what he did, this is what he did. Because that is the experience he gave them. You understand? No? On the other hand, I tell the fellows, say, all the time you are in temple, when you are going home, give them such a very sweet impression and calm. And they'll keep telling how nice our son is, how nice our son is. Correct, no? So therefore, the first impression is the best impression, we say, no? How we give impression to the people. So we all have to remember our speech, our dealings, our exchanges creates impressions in the minds of other people. And at the same time, there are going to be situations where you can't all the time be sweet. Sometimes a newcomer is not chanting one round also for 3 years. You really are fed up with that fellow. Sometimes you keep anger inside and then you are smiling. Just take prasad, you say like that. They come to know that you are not happy with them. You know? So, therefore, we have to know when to be firm and when to be soft. Hmm. Uh, Therefore, we say plus minus plus. First be soft and then give the instruction, then again be soft with them like that. Give them good experience. It's called as EPM. Empathize and pinpoint and then move forward, you say. Empathize means you tell them, I know you are coming for 3 years and you are unable to chant the holy name because your studies are so heavy and you have family responsibilities and your children and everything. I know that your duties are demanding too much. Otherwise, you would have come to 16 rounds long before. You are a great soul. That is empathize. And pinpoint means at the same time, you see, Gajendra was caught by a crocodile in the leg. Still, he called Lord's name. Still he did archana with a flower. So we also, somehow or other, we have to chant the holy name. We can't compromise. That means you're pinpointing. And move forward means, at the same time, I leave it to you. You can try at least, you're doing one round, make it 4 rounds. You can try it. And you can also join the Zoom japa with other devotees and you can also chant. So in this way, you can say like that. Yeah. You have to give space to them sometimes. Yes. Give the mic to him.
Ruchi, this principle what you told now, can it applied in our life also? Because sometimes we are just forced by our nature actually. Some people are so much soft, they cannot do anything. Other is sometimes extreme case. So can it be applied in our life because our nature is something different? Everybody's nature is different. And somebody is
Actually,
very
we cannot
expertise
blame
actually.
our nature. For example, if a person is too soft, you cannot tell anybody. Like Gadadhar Pandit, you cannot say no to Vallabha Bhatta, Vallabhacharya. Hmm? Vallabhacharya want to give a commentary on Bhagavatam, which he thinks is better than Sridhar Swami's commentary. Nityanpur didn't hear, Advaita didn't hear, Srivas didn't hear. They all went away. But Gadadhar Pandit was very soft. So he was overpowering him. And others are teasing other Pandit, why are you hearing from him? He says, I can't say no. So anyway, later on, Mahaprabhu came into the picture after that. The point is, if a person is too soft, he will also become an object of anger of others because he is not taking action at the right time. He is too much delaying the action because he wants to be in the good books of people. Yeah. So people say, why are you so eager to be in good books of people? You don't tell the right thing. You're cheating the people. They will say like that. And if a person is too harsh, then people will say that you are heartless, they will say. So there are three things: aggressive, assertive, passive. So we have to take the midway, which is assertive. Assertive means you have to combine polite and firm, courageous and considerate. You know, like you have to combine boldness and sensitivity. Um, you, for example, people are not coming to class on time. In the beginning, you don't tell them. You do the whole class. At the end of the class, you can tell them. Those who come in the beginning of the class, they get a very special information or they get a special gift. Correct now? Like in, in our college programs, what we did in the weekly programs, we give kas. You know kas? Kas is a kind of sharbat. So boys who come in the first 3 minutes, they get that. Some boys coming after 5 minutes comes running, you will not find it. Because sharbat is only for those who come within first 3 minutes. And after that, the class will be house full. Boys come 5 minutes before the class only. So why we keep that sharbat? As incentive for those who are punctual for them. So sometimes instead of taunting the people, you give incentive, then they come. Correct now? So we can find out, but wherever we have to correct the people, if they're doing something wrong, then we will have to do it firmly. At the same time, it should be blended with politeness. So assertive is that. See, aggressive means I break others' tooth. Passive means I let others break my tooth. And assertive means you keep your tooth, I keep my tooth. That's a very balanced thing it is. Right now.
I was hearing one of your class maybe long back,
Hmm.
and you are giving an example that you have appointed one devotee for prasadam distribution, and he was very harsh actually, and because that Prabhuji he came late, he did not get prasadam. Finally, he didn't get prasadam. Then you replaced somebody else. He was so much soft actually. Then again you replaced one more
Correct.
person that he was
We get
balanced
coupon
person.
system. The first fellow, he was little strong in speaking. He put up one life member, very angry he became. Then I put another fellow, he was too soft. He will, whether you are coupon or not, he will allow. So he leads to losses. So these are two extremes. So we have to take a midway. Yeah, correct. That's right. Thank you.
So, what you conclude, it can be slowly can be developed. if
No,
our-
those who are on the softer side, they have to come to assertive. Those on the harder side, they have to come to assertive. Both of them have to come to midway.
Okay.
Both those who are very extrovertish have to become little grave, sober. They have to become. Those are too sober, too grave, and too timid. They are too introvertish. They have to come. They have to open up a little more. So they both have to come to that balance. Universal law is assertive. You have to be balanced, and especially if you have to do administration in this world. If you are a pure devotee, you have to do only bhajan, then you can be always soft. No problem. It's like 24 karat gold. You can't make any ornament with that. You know that? It is too soft. You have to add some alloy to that, and that alloy is that firmness. Without firmness, you cannot actually do any administration in the material world. Yeah. Yes. Yeah. Mike.
This phrase, is it there somewhere in Chaitanya Charitamrita?
Actually, this I heard in one of the lectures. Actually, this depicts the behavior of Mahaprabhu. There is no direct shloka like that.
Because in many Telugu songs and all, we see similar phrases. Like there should be intelligence also and compassion also.
Compassion also.
So I was thinking, is there some...
It's the head and the heart.
Uh,
A head has clarity, focus, decision, and all that. And heart has emotion, sentiments. So to combine the head and heart.
wherever there are descriptions of
There is one
qualities of
description:
devotees-
Vajradapi katoram, kusumadapi komalam.
Komalam,
Yeah, that is similar to that. Correct, no? Acha, where is the verse? Oh, Prabhuji captured one very nice point. You can tell Mike. My mic is coming.
In Chaitanya Charitamrita, this is used like Nityananda Prabhu used to do Prema Prachara and Pashandadal.
Pashanda?
Pashandadalana means being heavy with the
Pasha.
atheistic philosophy.
Correct.
But at the time,
Very nice. Yeah. How drama we will do now, huh? We needed two people. One husband and wife. So it's a short drama it is. Who can read? Two mics we need. Do we have two mics? Or only one? One more mic?
no, we can pass the marks. Come close one. Please give. That's okay.
Then I take the mic back and forth. Back and forth. Yeah. Yeah, start, Prabhu. Quick.
My newly wedded wife is a non-devotee. If I associate with her, I'll fall down. Instead, I'll somehow make her Krishna conscious. To wife, you should always chant Hare Krishna 24 hours a day because all these years you have been in Maya and shocked huge volumes of sinful reactions.
I'll begin chanting 2 rounds of Hare Krishna every day. But you see, I also have to do household chores, take care of mother in law, clean the house, wash your clothes, etc.
But you have to match the spiritual standard of your husband. You can see that I am a Brahmin initiated and I conduct programs for 40 people every week. What will you think? What will people think if you are not a devotee like me?
Prabhu, I agree. but I need some time to grow. Even the KC philosophy is new for me. I come from a family where we have been worshipping Lord Shiva for the last 20 plus years in our house.
That's why you have to continuously chant Hare Krishna to purify your heart.
What is the matter? I'll come out in the hall. I'll come out in half an hour.
Wife is in bathroom. Husband is banging the door. So she's asking, what's the matter? Yeah.
That's all right. I wanted to remind you to come and continue chanting Hare Krishna inside bathroom also, as death may come at any time in our life.
Better. I return to my parents' home for a few months. I can't stand this man.
Did you hear me or not? I told you to sing holy names continuously.
I feel harassed in this house.
Yes, either we all have to be harassed by Maya or surrender to Harinam. There is no other way.
So wife leaves for her parents' home, and her parents inform the husband that she will not return for a few months until husband stops harassing her. So the quiz, what is the question? So give them an applause. So where did the husband go wrong? Anybody? Any? Mike?
Forcing Krishna consciousness and also not giving time to
Yes.
practice.
Yes, yeah.
Not giving up importance to her brought upness. Like she was practicing that.
He's not thinking about her background.
Yes,
yeah.
background. He has to think about that direction also, so that she can take up Krishna consciousness.
Correct.
He should have been appreciative that although she is from a worship of Lord Shiva worship background, she has started chanting 2 rounds.
Good, that's true, yeah. He's not seeing the positive side, he's not saying.
He is on the form side of the extreme, and his intent is good, but the way of giving content is very harsh way.
Correct. So good intentions are not good enough. How you say what you say matters a lot. So the way it appeared very aggressively, he was forcing. So she lost interest. Actually, it has happened in many families. Children also sometimes are forced by parents and they said, I will never chant. They go to the other extreme. Yeah. Yeah, Mike.
But sometimes in some devotees' lives, I've seen that though there is such harsh push, the wives have actually taken to Krishna consciousness very nicely. I had a friend when she was not a devotee before marriage. When the Prabhu went to see her, and then the first gift he gave her was beyond birth and death with a skeleton and the lotus and all that. And then actually later she was confiding in me that if you would have given something like Krishna Reservoir of Pleasure or Krishna book, it would have been nice. All my devotee relatives were making fun of me, but that didn't put her off from taking to Krishna consciousness.
There may be some
Understand.
There may be some very special qualifications in that husband. He may be a very serious practitioner. She's attracted to his sincerity, and early morning waking up, seriousness in spiritual life, something like that. She must be. See, there are multiple combinations. For example, a husband is aggressive, wife is extremely humble. And there are cases. There are husbands who beat the wife also, and the wife will never complain also. There are wives, because wife's upbringing also should be seen. But I am talking of an average woman will not tolerate. And also, like if husband gave her a book, she became enlightened. So spiritually, when she becomes enlightened, she is grateful. On the other hand, being too timid and too soft also sometimes, we never tell people, well, what spirituality is. We are cheating them. So it's like giving package without product. Which is important? Product is important, package is important. Product. So both are important, product and package. Like one time I was selling Prabhupada books. We could sell 20, 30 books in 3 hours, small books. So next day what we did, we put five books and wrapped it up with a colorful cover and then with a golden ribbon. and he put a name card for writing names. So people saw it's like a birthday gift. So immediately 100 packs went. So 500 books went just within 2 hours. Correct now? So in this way, you will see that packaging makes it buyable and it goes very fast. Similarly, Sadachar and Siddhanta. Siddhanta should be packaged with Sadachar. Otherwise, Siddhanta is not very appealing. You know. Or if somebody gives only Siddhanta, somebody may get awakened also. Huh? Sure. But not all. Most people need that Sadachar coating, cover, good behavior. Without that, people feel that, okay, that Prabhu is very advanced, but he can't be so harsh. They will say like that. Clear?
Yes.
Yeah. Please read that next one.
Giving people space, giving people space, inspire them and instruct them only after building relationship. For example, Srila Prabhupada and Unshaven Ramanuja and Achyutananda. Srila Prabhupada showed Ramanuja a picture of shaven-headed prostitute in front of Haridas Thakur and inspired Ramanuja to shave up too, without forcing him to shave.
Yeah. So these two fellows came with Prabhupada in India traveling. Ramanuja and Achyutananda. Achyutananda had a big beard. Prabhupada didn't like it. So he didn't want to tell him directly. So he showed the BTG picture of a shaven-headed prostitute. And then Ramanuja understood. Then he shaved after that. Yeah, next.
When we accept people as they are, knowing well they are individuals, then miracles happen. Example, Srila Prabhupada saying good morning to all. Same people said Hare Krishna to Srila Prabhupada in the evening.
You all know this right now? Yeah. Next.
If we respect people properly, their best qualities will come out. We have seen so many devotees, if they like devotees for what they are, then they will start doing what the devotees are doing. Example, Shyam Sundar Prabhu gave up smoking by Srila Prabhupada's inspiration. Why do you allow a small piece of cigarette to come between you and Krishna?
You know that Malti Mataji says that past time. So, because he loved Prabhupada, he could give up. So, one of the emphasis of my spiritual master, he says that our speech and dealings should be very endearing. And my Guru Maharaj says that many of the teenage children, those Gurukulis and all, who have come to Krishna consciousness, they have only come because of love of some of the leaders. Those who dealt with them with affectionately. They felt a kind of connection in their teenage to some guru. But they were not doing any Krishna conscious thing. They were just attracted. But in the later years, that love pulled them to become Krishna conscious. This is one type of mystic potency. Some people have that ability to love and care. If you have it, you have it. If you don't have it, at least we should take care that we don't damage others' spiritual life. Some people have this nature of being very affectionate, and their swabhava, their what do you call it, their makeup of their personality is like that. Very caring, very loving, very. There is one devotee called Rup Gaur Prabhu in Ujjain, the doctor. So close to Ujjain is a place called Guna. So there were some 8-10 school-going children living in the neighborhood of his house. He would call them, make big feast and feed them, prasad. And he would do kirtan with them. And the children became attached to him. And they also started singing Hare Krishna when they were in the 7th, 8th standard, like that. Now when they grew up, many of them came to Pune for studying their engineering. And they met devotees, and they got connected to our voice centers. So one of them is Samartha Krishna Prabhu, Another one is, there is one Krishna Kishore Prabhu who is a disciple of Bhakti Char Swami Maharaj. He is also Bhakti Char Swami Maharaj. And there is a Krishna Mukund Prabhu from GGD. So these people actually, they only ate prasadam and did kirtan in their teenage. And that was attracting them to become devotees now. So if you ask these boys what he gave you, they said, Prabhu simply, both he and his wife were affectionate to us. They fed us nice prasad. They taught us kirtan. you know. So this is called as like fond memories. Uh, so preaching is not only giving lecture and enlightening people. That's one part of the preaching. Also, how we deal with people. That matters also. Yes. Most of us.
Most of us became devotees because we were treated nicely. People don't identify with the institution, but they identify with people. Example, Jayananda Prabhu, people would say, just because you are in Hare Krishna movement, that movement must be a good movement. Because ISKCON movement has such good saintly persons as yourself.
Yeah, you all know about Jayanand Prabhu, isn't it? So the next section on the importance of respecting every living being. This is by Lord Kapila to Devahuti. So it's a very important section. You can read the translations, please. Any of you? Cut, you can go on reading.
Srimad Bhagavatam 3:29-16. The mind should become purified by offering obeisances to, praying to, worshipping, touching, and seeing my deity forms, by thinking of my presence in all beings, and by giving up bad association with determination.
Yeah, go ahead.
3:29-17. The mind should become purified by greatly respecting the great devotees, showing compassion to the unfortunate, being friendly to one's equals, and by following yama and niyama of Ashtanga Yoga. 3:29-18. The mind should become purified by continually hearing about the good and bad qualities of the Antakarana, by chanting my names, by sincere association with great devotees without pride. Understanding one has bad qualities like pride, one can conquer those bad qualities by worshipping of great devotees.
Yeah. So we have to be compassionate to juniors, friendly to the equals, and respectful to superiors. And we have to know that we have many bad qualities, including pride and dambam mahadupasaya. We can give up the pride by associating with very advanced devotees. Yeah. Yeah. Read further.
3.29.21. I, the Supreme Lord, the soul of all beings, am always situated in all beings. He who disrespects me in all beings performs false worship of my deity worship.
That means if somebody is doing deity worship, but is not respecting the devotees, the Lord is calling it as a false worship. Read it? Offense?
Offense generally stems from disrespect to the great devotees. Though such devotees are difficult to see, many exist. In order to avoid offenses to them, one should pay respects to all living entities, thinking that the Lord is present in all of them. Without doing so, even worshipping the deity forms of the Lord will not give any result. Since he is the Supreme Lord, Kapila then speaks in 6 verses, somewhat angrily, out of affection, to benefit his devotee who does not respect all living beings. In these verses, disrespect, disregard, hatred, and criticism are forbidden. This person performs imitation worship of my deity forms. Archa Vidambana.
I read further.
One who worships the deity of Godhead in the temples but does not know the Supreme Lord as Paramatma situated in every living entity's heart must be in ignorance and is compared to one who offers oblations into ashes.
See? That means, Lord becomes extremely upset that you respect him, but you don't respect his devotees. It's like offering ghee into ashes, like that he says. Yeah. Actually, it is not necessarily Ganesha Adhikari. Anybody who See, generally we say Kanishadikari is worshipping deity but not respecting devotee. It's not that Madhyamadikari cannot commit offense. We have seen there are people at very advanced stages also they can commit offenses. Everybody has to be careful. Hmm. Everybody, uh, therefore the Shastras are warning us that we have to be careful. Sometimes even amongst the exalted people there can be offenses flying back and forth. Like you see Nandi, he's a personal associate of the Lord. But he dealt with how he dealt with Brigumani, and Brigumani is a very big personality. How he dealt also. So whether you are small or big devotee, whoever we are, if you are offending the devotees, Lord will not be happy with us. That's the point. Yeah. Just further.
3.29.23. One who offers me respect but is envious of the bodies of others and is therefore a separatist never attains peace of mind because of his inimical behavior towards other living entities. Binna darshanam means one who does not recognize that his own suffering is also felt the same way in others.
Yeah, empathy means that's it. Correct, now? Empathy means you can feel the suffering of others. Huh? So if one cannot feel like that, when I speak scorching words, how much it hurts others, we cannot feel that. Then we are called Binna Darshinaha. Yeah.
O mother, I am not pleased with the person who criticizes other beings while worshipping my deity form with rites using various material. Avamanau means of one who criticizes. One who criticizes others is worse than one who hates others.
Hating others itself is very bad. Criticizing is even worse, he says, because criticize means active hatred. Hmm. Hate means passive, passive aversion. So all these verses give us a clue that we have to become very careful in our speech. Hmm. Don't. That's why a list was given: disrespect, disregard, hatred, criticism. They're all increasing. See, initially we disrespect. That leads to disregarding them. I don't care for that devotee. Then I develop hatred. Then I develop criticism. Increasing degree. That should be avoided. So from this, the gradation Jivas will do it next time when I come. So this is page number 4 of 8, correct, no? So subject is little weighty subject and we have to do these things because, yeah, Esther, you have a question? Yeah, give the mic to you.
Here it is told that
Prabhu,
one
we
who
can do
does
till 9:30, can do? Is it 2 full hours we can do? They don't have to go to office? A little late. I can finish another 15 minutes we can take. We started at what time? 7:30? 9:30, okay. Yes, Prabhu.
one who does not recognize that his own suffering is also felt the same way in others. So here, Prabhuji, sometimes you are preaching, but we don't know that which way you are suffering, then how we can know that what others were suffering. It is artificial way. It is
No. Example is given in the Bhagavatam, Daridriyam Parama Anjanam. Which means poverty, people who are in poverty know how full of suffering life is. Because you can see them living in the slum. They don't have food, you know. They don't have a place to sleep. Many times they sleep outside. I had gone to one house in Hyderabad where there are 18 members. And their house is only half this hall, half of this hall size. There's only one lady who became a devotee in that house. None of the others are devotees. But this one lady, she has made an altar and she does Mangalarti, Nasangalti, Tulsi Arti, chanting 16 rounds. And goes to office also. She works also. And then comes back in the evening, takes care of children. Seeing her, her children are becoming devotees. Yeah, her other family members also. They're picking up, you know. So She wanted to purchase Bhagavatam and she saved money for like 3-4 years, and then at last she could get Bhagavatam. So she had told the Prabhu, it will be nice if you come and do a program in our house. So her husband is not a devotee, but is a pious person, good person. She said he is very afraid of sadhus. He says, why? I asked, because sadhus will ask him to chant and he doesn't want to chant. So her husband was also hearing lecture, just from outside. He was hearing. After the lecture was over, when he was, of course, lot of other people were also there. Like she has her brothers and brother's wife, brother's children. They are all, it's like a joint family. Can you imagine half this hall? And she was selling that night all the women sleep inside, all the men sleep outside. Outside, right on the road, they sleep. But she saved money for 3 years to buy a Bhagavatam set. Like that. So now, why did I give that example here and what connection I gave? Yeah. And she told, I know how much suffering life can be because we were all born in a slum, she said. But now the family is little bit improving now. And the men are just earning money hand to mouth. That's all. So those who live in suffering, they know what suffering is. And when others suffer, they can empathize. This Bhagavatam says that. Daridriyam parama anjanam. Says.
So generally, we don't feel that somebody is suffering. It is just we like to preach. We preach actually. So
No, we like to preach means we are passionate generally.
yes.
So because many times preaching gives us a kick that there are also people who listen to me also. मैं भी कुछ बड़ा हूँ. I am not a small person. I give class and 100 people hear me. Like sometimes among preachers also, one preacher said, Prabhu, that program was hit, Prabhu, success. I asked how many came. 600 log बैठे थे Prabhu, you are saying. Then his friends said, Prabhu ji, सिर्फ 300 लोग थे Prabhu, you are saying. अरे 600 लोग प्रसाद दिया. 600 has taken prasad. That means 600 came. You don't come in between, you don't know you are selling. So people are often like boasting themselves to be great preachers. That's what we talked in the beginning of the class. Actually, we don't have compassion. Prabhupada has compassion. But we can become his representative of his compassionate spirit. And for his pleasure, we do it like a postman. Right now. Say, for example, there is a ex-devotee, pure devotee, compassionate. He's looking at suffering soul. He says, go and give this gulab jamun to that suffering soul. So we are going and giving gulab jamun. We don't feel like giving. But he wants to give. So we become a instrument. That's correct understanding.
Sometimes because of our upbringing or the culture what parents have given, so it's not like boasting, but naturally that we are not attached to some things. That's because we have been opulent enough, our parents have given us everything and all, so we are not attached to something. But when we are preaching, we see that many people have so much difficulty in giving up some very small
Correct.
things. So like because we don't see that as difficult to give up, so we lack empathy in some places like that. So how do we be empathetic in such cases?
What we can think, everybody's upbringing is not same. Correct, no? Different people have been brought up in different way. For example, one boy's mother, father were divorced. So he never got love. So he becomes angry for small things, So later on, I told the boys that, see, he never got love in his life. Therefore, he is irritable in nature. So you think that because he had to be brought up in life on his own with no, emotional support. Therefore, he is what he is. And when the boys got this understanding, then they felt sympathy for him. We can do the same thing. I got sanskar in my family, they didn't get. So let us be sympathetic. Correct, no? Yeah. That is based on the knowledge, awareness. Yeah. So, this Kapila section is very nice. We'll finish this one thing, gradation in jivas. Can you read it? One of you. Who has the mic with you?
Gradation in Jivas, Srimad Bhagavatam 3:29-29. Inanimate objects less than Is it okay to read like
Yeah,
that?
less than, yeah.
Less than living immovable entities, less than living entities with greater life symptoms, less than entities with higher consciousness of
Or you
movement.
can say like this: living immobile entities are greater than inanimate objects.
Oh.
Like, for example, a dry grass, better than dry grass is living grass, like that.
And entities with senses are greater than entities with higher consciousness of movement.
Yeah, among those.
Among those with senses, beings with touch sensation, like
And then taste sensation, sense of smell.
Sense of smell, then
Those
beings who can hear, beings who can distinguish form, entities with 2 sets of teeth, beings with many legs, animals with 4 legs, humans with 2 legs.
So out of all this, who is the greatest?
Humans with 2 legs.
Correct. And then amongst humans?
Amongst humans,
the gradation is we are going from bottom to top.
Jnani who does not enjoy the results of his previous actions is
Where is that? Oh, among humans? Non-Varnashrama humans.
You want me to remove? Because you wanted me
Oh,
to.
from bottom to top. The bottommost is non-Varnashrama humans.
Amongst humans, non-Varnashrama humans, and then those in Varnashrama, then Brahmanas, then Brahmana who knows the Vedas, Brahmana who knows the meaning of the Vedas, Brahmana who can dispel the doubts, Brahmana who completes his duties completely, and Jnani who does not enjoy the results of his previous actions.
Correct.
Best is the person who dedicates his activities such as hearing and chanting, his wealth, his identity, mind, intelligence, etc. to me, who identifies with others' sufferings and happiness. Such a
Sarva Bhutatma Bhutatma. Bhagavad Gita says that.
Such a person should offer great respects with the mind to all the jivas, thinking that the Supreme Lord has entered into that entity.
Yes. Everybody's body is a temple because Paramatma is residing there. So he's Pandita Samadarshina. He says like that, yeah. Yeah, we can do one skit. Yeah, like some Brahmanas just chant the mantras, but you don't know the meaning. They just memorize and repeat. Knowing the meaning is higher. Yeah. Shyam and Ravi. Yes. Yeah, here you can stand.
Can a devotee push oneself in between? Ravi Prabhu, in Tulasi Aarti, everybody comes in a queue and waters Tulasi. It will be nice to not push oneself in between the line, Prabhu. It is not proper etiquette.
Prabhu, but I have to catch up with one round of japa after watering Tulasi, Prabhu.
It may be good to attend Tulasi Aarti fully and start japa afterwards, Prabhu.
When I insert myself in between Prasadam queue to join Prasad, nobody has complained, Prabhu. Only in railway station ticket queue karmis make a big hue and cry.
Of course, devotees due to humility may not tell you, but they may be displeased in their hearts.
Is it so bad like Vaishnava Aparadh? After all, I am saving my time to catch up with so many responsibilities. I have 2 children, wife, and my parents who are waiting for me to do so many things at home. Seeing my responsibilities, nobody should complain about me.
As you have your responsibilities,
as you have your responsibilities,
other devotees have theirs too. Srila Prabhupada says, devotees should behave as perfect gentlemen. Therefore, I told you.
But I am not as bad as Raju Prabhu, who takes other devotees' towels, chappals, prasad packets in yatra without taking their permission. He also batters the bathroom door strongly when somebody is in bathroom. He barges into prasadam plate washing area and pushes others aside to wash his own plate. He claims to be senior and shouts at devotees who don't give him extra gulab jamuns. But I have never seen you correcting him at all.
Why don't you see good examples of Gopal Prabhu, Giridhari Prabhu, and Rasabihari Prabhu, who will never do such things?
Prabhu, but I want to know, when are you going to correct Raju Prabhu? First, let him behave well, then I will rectify my behavior.
Raju's counselor has been already told about this matter and he will do the needful. We need not worry about others' bad behavior. Let us focus on how we can get better in our life for our good.
Please tell me which behavior is more bad? Going in between the queue of devotees or stealing?
Both are bad.
Which is more bad?
You have to decide whether you are serious about going back to Godhead.
Will one be detained from going back to Godhead because of small disrespect to devotees?
Small disrespect is like spark of fire, which grows bigger if you don't take care.
Okay, Prabhu. I'll try to behave properly as you wish.
Thank you, Ravi Prabhu, for your understanding. Whatever I told you was for your good. Hare Krishna.
Hare You see, Ravi was in a justifying mode. You observed that? Justifying doesn't help. If somebody is giving us feedback, it's better for us to accept and change. This is an interesting one. Quickly can finish it. Next one. Giridhari and Ravi, two people. You can come here, two devotees, quick. Yeah, here. Here? Yeah. Yes.
Girdhari. Oh Ravi Prabhu, I heard a complaint from His Grace Ganga Mataji, Hare Grace, Hare Grace Ganga Mataji, that all ladies who were in Brahmanda Ghat bathing were left without care, and they had to come through a dark road facing the risk of robbers and uncultured rowdies men who were whistling at our devotee women. I am surprised how the two of you, men that I appointed for their care, did not care but absconded.
Prabhu, listen to me carefully. Me and Raju Prabhu were fixed for this service. We were told at 5 p.m. that we have to stay
See,
till
Ravi and Raju are the most dangerous fellows and they both are fixed for this service. Yeah.
to stay till 7 p.m. and ensure that all Matajis who had gone for bathing should board their buses before we leave from there by sumo. But there was a problem.
Raju is speaking. Prabhu, my friends were.
Who is that? Raju. One more Raju. One more devotee. You can take. Call one more devotee. Yeah.
Prabhu, my friends were teasing me saying that you fellows are attached to women and laughing at me, asking why are you guys hanging around with women and not traveling with men in Yatra. So me and Ravi felt ashamed and we ran away from that place taking an auto back to our accommodation.
What a foolish Prajalpa talk. They are all devotee women who deserve respect, honor, and motherly treatment. Some of them have their children too. How can the Prabhujis make such loose talk and be so careless about a service entrusted to them? Imagine if some Mataji devotee was mishandled by some outside ruffians, it would be disastrous.
I told Raju Prabhu that we have been entrusted this important service. He said, let Matajis come by themselves. Seeing him run away, I also run away, Prabhu.
If two Prabhujis are given a service to take care of Matajis in Yatra to ensure their protection and safety, their service is not material attachment. They are protecting the woman on behalf of Guru and Krishna. It should be seen as a service, Prabhu.
Prabhu, we don't have such transcendental vision, Prabhu. What to do?
Then you should not accept the service. Instead, you should both tell your manager that you can't handle it and ask him to allot another devotee for the service. Then manager could have arranged other two men in your place. It doesn't require great transcendental vision. Matajis are also human beings like you. And Shastras say that women, children, cows, old people, brahmanas all should be protected and cared for. It is our duty. Don't you protect your sister or mother or grandmother or daughter? Do you need a great transcendental vision for doing that? In the same manner, why you both couldn't take care of them?
Sorry, Prabhu, we will be careful in such matters in future. Hare Krishna.
See, sometimes when I write skit, it's a real life story, this one. It happened once, so I noted and kept it, and I made it into a drama. Yeah. So, taking care of them, protecting them is also a sign of respecting them, not treating them as objects of enjoyment. Correct, no? How you see others, what kind of outlook we have towards women as a class. Yeah. Some men are like for example, when Her Grace Malati Mataji came to Pune, she was just observing. I had told the men, all the men were occupying the entire front. I told them to move to one side so that Mataji can also come forward and take darshan of Prabhupada during Guru Puja. I told them to put a barricade. They put a barricade. Later on, when she gave a class, she appreciated that. I saw Radhe Prabhu made a barricade and gave space to the woman to take darshan of Prabhupada. She said, "This is a very good gesture. Every leader should also understand and respect the ladies." She was saying like that. So, at the same time, the women also should cultivate shyness. That's very important for them. There is one entire purport on shyness. Prabhupada speaks in the first canto when Krishna leaves Hastinapur. You will read that one full page on shyness. While the men are ready to give them opportunities, the woman should take a back seat. That's their nature. Similarly, like men are taking Charanamrit, if there is only one line available, instead of women having to wait, women, children, old people, they can be allowed to take Charanamrit and push off. Then men can take afterwards. So these are all etiquettes. Women should be seen with eyes of respect. One time I was going in a train from Pune to Mumbai. Midway, somewhere in Lonavala, I saw that one Mataji was carrying a baby, tender baby, just 6 months old baby, standing just next to me. So I got up and told her to sit. So she sat and she was very grateful, thankful. And after that, the Karjat came, station came. She felt that I'm standing for a long time. She asked again, "Swamiji, would you like to sit again for some time?" I said, "No, I can adjust." And another man asked, "स्वामी जी आपको तो रिजर्व टिकट है, उसको क्यों दे दिया आपने? आपको खड़े होने की क्या जरूरत है?" He was saying. And one another man said, "स्वामी जी आपने अच्छा किया, वो बाल बच्चे के साथ है वो स्त्री, उसको बैठने के लिए जगह दिया आपने, अच्छा किया आपने." So, and then in another 5 minutes, somebody else got up and left. So I sat there. So in this world, some people will call you a fool when you show a good gesture. And some people will appreciate your gesture. But we have to check whether my behavior tallies with the Vedas, Vedic approach. Vedas say that you should be sympathetic to women, children, old people, And carrying a child, she is like our mother. Imagine if your mother is standing there with a small baby, will you not give her a place? So that courtesy, these are all things which you cannot expect to be taught, small things, gestures. But that is also a sign of respect. So we will, give the mic to him.
This is, devotion. Apart from this, is moral civil codes which we are talking. I see that outside world they don't care, especially these days, care for the moral etiquette at all.
Correct.
And most of the, even among devotees, when we go to places, most of the time we say that there is a competition. Where just you gave the example of Charanamrit line. So we say that even devotees, this we see when they get into the buses, they want to go early for the prasad or such things. So, somehow I think there is some the gap of understanding, and also sometimes the reason could be genuine also. So how do we actually know? Sometimes, for example, when we are in yatra, it is already late. So the Prabhujis are also there, or they have generally the women. So generally they make place for the women, and the woman make place for her own whole family. You know, actually she can go along with the children, but she will make sure that her husband also comes along with her. Or the old people, they get in first, and they make space for the whole family. The idea is that the women, children, and whole people, they should be given. They can't. They are weak. So, but actually, that is being exploited also. How do we balance this thing?
Yeah, actually, that is why the man for whom she is making space, he should have the sense. He should tell his wife, I don't want to sit, let another Mataji sit. Because women's bodies are weaker compared to men. So let she sit. He can give another woman a place. That is his good gesture. Otherwise, if he also accepts it, like we go in the airport bus also, they have a bus, there are not many seats there, you know. So when I go with assistant, we both go inside. Immediately we both will go and sit naturally. But if we see a very elderly couple is coming, then we get down and tell them, you please take the seat. And they were telling me, no, you already got the seat. They said, no, it's all right, we can stand. You have the power to stand, we can stand. They don't have power to stand, let them sit. Correct now? So whether it is outside world or devotee world, devotees are people who have been outsiders before. From there only we recruit people to become devotees. So why are we talking these things? These are all part of training. The counsel is many times what happens. The counselors just read some small book, few pages, and they explain philosophy. Siddhanta goes, people hear about it. But Sadachar part is not so much trained, except the Vaishnava Samhita, Achar Samhita, one book is there. We teach etiquettes. But there are more and more etiquettes, behavior to be taught also. Because people don't even think about it. They just, because they have been brought up in a certain way in their family. Like, for example, as children, we were taught, a child is saying, Uncle, can I get the toy on the top of the bureau? And he's taking and giving it. And the child says, thank you, uncle. Sorry for having troubled you. These things we are taught in the school. But now somebody says, hey, Prabhuji, mere liye ek prasad plate bana do. He's saying, so you make a plate. Prabhuji, I made a plate for you, please take it. Okay, take it. Takes and goes. He doesn't say thank you. And sorry for having troubled you. It's a culture. Correct. So, and when you say that, sorry for having troubled you, then the relationship becomes more thicker. So, I feel that we can make dramas and show wrong behavior. Sanatana Goswami says both behaviors, wrong and right behavior. Then people learn, we should not do like this, we should do like this. Learn the correct behavior. Yeah, give the mic to Mike Mataji once.
I like this point of Prema Purna Vyavaha.
Yeah.
So in this, I have a question. When we are preaching outside, when we go for preaching, sometimes at home we might not receive good behavior, or we might not receive that Prema Purna Vyavaha. How can we exhibit to others when we are not seeing examples at home or in our society?
Actually, see, you have two roles. One is a material relationships and spiritual relationship. Correct, no? So in material relationship, somebody's upbringing at home has not been the way we are talking now. For example, certain homes, everybody does their own thing, Then we have to see in spiritual life some examples of sacrificing people, extending people, kind people, considerate people, cooperative people, who go an extra mile to serve others. We have to be touched in our heart by somebody, then we copy that behavior. Yeah. If we didn't get in one side, material side, spiritual side, we can search. All right?
Many times it so happens that the examples we have seen before coming into devotional life were morally more superior than the cases we are seeing after coming into devotional life. So it takes so much of effort to reconcile that
There's a
devotional
reason
life
for
is still
that.
superior.
There's a reason for that. I'll tell you why. Materially, somebody is very well behaved because they don't have any spiritual austerities. They are simply pious. They watch movies. Many of them don't follow principles also fully. and they have a lot of freedom, abundant time also. See, to lead a life without any serious spiritual responsibilities is very easy. But the moment you come into ISKCON, 16 rounds you have to chant, 2 hours. 4 legs you have to follow. You can't drink coffee, you can't drink tea, you can't take onion garlic. With lot of rigid restrictions, rules which are all meant for purification. So then spiritual life poses an added responsibility to the normal life. And that causes tension to everybody. Correct, no? Husband, wife, children, when you're living. But in material life, what happens? They don't have any rules, regulations. So then it's a very cool life. So therefore, like many times we wonder, oh, this husband, wife are so nice to each other, and they are living in a very happy home with their children. But you will see them, they go to movie also. They go to party also. They have birthday parties.
Many times it so happens that when we are preaching to a couple, suppose, so the husband was very nice when he was not a devotee, he gave lot of time, and as he becomes serious in Krishna consciousness, then because there is commitment there, and that is more attractive.
Correct.
That is the very nature of Krishna consciousness.
Right.
So then the wife starts feeling that
Complaining,
this
yeah,
Krishna
yes.
consciousness is not good because
Therefore, what you can tell the husband, you make a very flat, simple formula. Morning for Krishna, daytime for profession, evening for family. And then those who are giving time to family in the evening, amongst them, there are some who will also be able to take the family with them for preaching, for book distribution. Only they can only extend. Then you will find that after they become more mature, that profession reduces. Then they get more time for Krishna consciousness. But in general, wherever I travel, I tell them this only. Evening you should give for family. And one fellow asked, what about giving time to family in the morning? No, that is not good. Because morning quarrel will happen. We start the morning with family. Start with the divine note. Start with a prayer, If you try to sort out family problem in the early morning, prayer also remains undone, and fight also happens. Better that start with chanting. Both have chanted, their mind is clear, then they behave nicely. Office also you behave well, evening at home, around the chanting is over, you are a free bird. Then they can behave nicely. That's why we say morning for Krishna, daytime for profession, evening for family. And then if they can extend themselves to preach, then we can allow them. All right, no? Shri Prabhupada ki, और भक्त वृंदा की, thank you very much.